welcome back to Rock On, the podcast that elevates and inspires you, the podcast that helps you grow in your own craft but also in your life. I'm your host, Rokaya Mane, and today I have a powerful topic. It's leading through co creation and how you can embrace collaboration and contribution in your leadership style. Co creation and collaboration are leadership essentials. They are drivers of innovation, of trust, and impact. And they are at the heart of future of work. And today I want us to explore the art of co-creation and how it can reshape the way you lead. Because when we shift from I to we don't just create more, we create better. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever watched kids play together? One has an idea, the other builds, and another tweaks it until it's something none of them could have imagined alone. That's not just collaboration, that's co creation. Building with and not next to. So imagining together, failing together, and then trying again together. It's messy, it's beautiful, and it works. But why it's harder than it looks? Co creation is not always easy. Some people hesitate, and often for good reasons. Not everyone's timeline matches, not everyone moves at the same speed or pace. Sometimes people fear their original idea will get diluted or that someone else's idea will take over. And sometimes people just don't know how to connect. Because co creation requires more than a meeting invite, it requires intention, it requires space, mental, and emotional. And most of all, it requires trust. And trust is not instant. Some people don't hold back because they are difficult. They just hold back because they've probably been burnt along the way. They have shared ideas before that were dismissed or stolen or misunderstood. And that's where leadership needs to come in. Before we build the project, we have to build the safety. That means letting disagreement be safe. As we always say, agreeing to disagree. Thanking people for their input, giving credit, showing people their voice matters. Because co creation needs trust like a plant needs sunlight. And here's something else I've noticed. Trust often flows more naturally when we share something. It could be a language, a lived experience, cultural references, or shared values, you name it. As much as diversity and inclusion are really essential, and they truly are, there's a unique spark that happens when a team shares some common ground. It does not mean we exclude difference. It means we acknowledge that starting from a place of connection can make the collaboration feel safer and faster. And once we have that, the co-creation can really begin. And once trust begins to grow, then tools can help us. We have Teams, we have SharePoint, Google Docs, etc., and tools that are supposed to make co-creation seamless. And they do. Real-time editing? Yes, please. But tools don't build trust on their own. Tools don't spark generosity or kindness. They don't replace culture. They do a lot of wonderful things, including support a co-creation mindset, but they can't create it. They will never replace what people build together. We do that with our own words, our openness, we humans, not AI or technology. So, in interviews or presentations, for example, many of us struggle with the balance between I did this and we achieved this. And here's a simple way to frame it. Just highlight your role within the team effort. For example, just say, I led a cross-functional team to implement a system that increased efficiency across departments. That way, it shows leadership and results, but also your ability to empower the others. So co-creation can feel slower at first, but in the mid to long-term benefits are substantial. More robust solutions because you've considered diverse perspectives, and faster implementation because people are invested in what they helped build. Fewer roadblocks and because ownership is shared, and that's the payoff. The leader's role now, when it comes to the leadership, a strong leader is not someone who has all the answers. No, instead, it's someone who knows how to bring the right people together, to harness their strengths and to guide them towards a shared vision. Leadership is not about dictating solutions. No, it's about facilitating them. And great leaders, they have credibility, competence, courage, and collaboration mindsets. So you might be wondering, how do you facilitate? Well, it just takes practice, but the core of it lies in creating a safe place that we call psychological safety, respecting contribution to a better experience in the workplace, ensuring accountability and empowering every team member, including yourself. True leadership is recognizing about the collective effort, humility, vision, and trust to bring out the best in others. And to lead to co-creation, you don't bark others, you cultivate a space. You don't force participation, you invite ownership. And you don't shine alone, you amplify others. Because leadership through co-creation is about building something stronger than you ever could alone. And if you remember just three things: trust first, empower others, lead like a gardener, not like a commander. So wherever you are, whether you are building a team, a vision, or a dream, remember, the best things are rarely built alone. Invite people in, make room for their gifts, let go of the need to own everything, and lead with clarity though. Watch what happens when we becomes your superpower. Thank you so much for tuning in to Rock On. If you found this episode meaningful and insightful, don't hesitate to share it with someone who you would love to co-create something with. Until next time, keep rocking on and work together. Thank you very much.